Welcome along to Google HQ and the QPR official kit launch, and we're joined by 70 or so rowdy QPR fans in attendance as well. Look at that, it comes alive, it's incredible. Okay, over the course of the next half an hour, we're going to be revealing the third kit, the goalkeeper kit, the away kit, and the home kit. So I hope we've got this one right, otherwise it's going to be a disaster in front of everyone here. So we're going to be doing that over the course of the next half an hour or so. We're also going to be joined as part of a Google Hangout by 3 QPR fans from around the world. So that's all coming up. Just a reminder for those of you in attendance and those of you watching that from Saturday you can actually purchase the new kits in the club shop from 9 a.m. through till 5 o'clock. Between 2 and 3:30 there'll be 4 players in attendance as well. So that's this Saturday at the club shop. You'll be able to get down there and buy the new QPR merchandise. OK, I think we should just get straight into it, get started straight away. Are we ready to see the new third kit and the new goalkeeper kit? Are we ready to see that? Ready to get underway? Well, we're going to be joined shortly not only by Darnell Furlong in the third kit, but also by Henry Arben, who's a junior hoop celebrating his 8th birthday today. He's modelling the goalkeeping kit. Put your hands together for Henry Arben and Darnell Furlong. Pose for a nice photo there, lads. Looking at the camera. Lovely, very nice. Henry, round of applause for Henry. Henry, grab a seat with your dad there. Brilliantly done. Darnell, grab a seat for us there. Darnell, like the new kit? Very nice. Third kit.
Different, but yeah definitely like it, yeah.
What are our initial thoughts on the third kit? Are we happy with the third kit? It's a little bit different, isn't it? Are we happy with that? It's confusion amongst the fans. OK, Darnell, firstly, it's a big season for you, isn't it, this upcoming season, after breaking through, which was probably ahead of your own expectations. Yeah,
definitely. I didn't expect it at all to be able to even be close to them. So to play in 3 games was massive for me.
And how did you define that experience? Because you were coming up against pretty good players.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, and I almost couldn't think about it too much as in the opposition. I just had to kind of get on with it and see kind of where it took me. OK. How much did you feel that that's helped you in terms of going into this season? Has it changed your mindset in terms of what you're hoping to achieve? Yeah, definitely, because I feel that the games that I played and the teams that I played against, I've almost dealt with close to the worst. So sort of it can only kind of, a lot of people have told me it can only get better from there in terms of who I played against. So I'm just hoping that I'm able to do that. And
for the first few years you were at the club, I actually thought your first name was He's the Son of Paul. Who's that? He's the Son of Paul Furlong. Oh, OK. He's got too much hair. Has that been a hindrance to your development? Obviously, it's great to have that experience at home to discuss with over the dinner table, but has it been a hindrance in any way?
Not at all, because I've just grown up with it, so it's all I've ever known. It might be sort of different for someone else who maybe if they never had it and then all of a sudden had it, but because I've grown up with it, it's all I've ever known. I don't know any different.
And he must be very proud as well.
I hope so, yeah.
OK, we've got a question on the Google Hangout as well. We're going to be joined, all being well, by Evan, who's joining us from Belfast. We're just waiting for Evan to pop up. Evan, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us. I understand you've got a question for Darnell, so fire away.
Yeah, congratulations on extending your stay with us as well. Basically, I was just from an outsider's perspective, I know in the last couple of years, it's seemed like development squad players aren't getting much of an opportunity. So for you to get those opportunities last year in the Premier League, what's the feeling around the development squad now versus maybe a year or 2 ago? Is it more exciting? Is it more hope breaking into the first team, or what's that feeling like?
Definitely more exciting. When we're in the change room, we're talking as a group, we've all got the same goals, and before maybe them goals seem further away, but now with the changes that have come in, it's definitely managed to give us a kick and realise that we can actually do it. With the people that are at the club now, we definitely feel that there's much more of a chance, and almost, I wouldn't say that you definitely don't train any different because you would train to your maximum before, but sort of there's a different element and a different way that you go about it sometimes, just because of the positivity around.
Do you feel you're being watched? When you're training, you're looking, thinking, I've got to be on it all the time. Yeah,
sometimes, because I think before, if you would train with the first team or something like that, you'd train and you'd just be thinking to yourself, I just want to do well. But now there's almost a feeling of, I want to do well because there's a chance of something happening here. So we just have to go in and do our best. But definitely, there's a lot more excitement from the younger players in my team.
Okay, great. And we've got a question in the studio from Ian Hume. What are your aims for this season on a personal level?
Definitely to play. I would love to come and be able to play this season, but I've got to realise that my time might not come yet. But definitely over pre-season and first few games, I'm just going to try and do that. That's all I can do, really.
Is there a target amount of games?
I'd like to play in every single one, but whether that's realistic or not, maybe not. But we'll just have to see how it goes. And if I aim for the highest, I don't know where it will leave me. And
you look at the change in philosophy, for want of a better word, that the club's undergone in terms of, in recent years, there is an obvious and evident shift towards youth, which is ideal from your point of view. Yeah. But it's important the club get that mix right as well in terms of not only giving you guys the chance, but having the experienced heads to lean on. Yeah. For instance, Clint Hill, I'd imagine, is perfect for a player like yourself.
Massive, because he's done everything that we want to do, and what we're doing right now, he's done it loads of times. So for us to be able to have him to talk to, and just even simply, I've said it before, that just watching them, you learn so much. You don't have to actually ask them anything, just watching them, how they conduct themselves, things like that, and you're not going to get better role models than people like Clint.
And I think you were one of only 2 players to actually beat Jamie Mackie in the bleep test this morning. How did you find it?
It was definitely hard, very, very hard, but I suppose it's just one of them things we have to get on with. I'm a couple of sleepless nights almost thinking about the yo-yo, but once it's over with, you're very happy.
And you've obviously got straight into training again tomorrow, and it's, I would imagine, a different level of intensity to what you're used to, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Last year, I was around it, but I was just looking at it. I was on the pitch next to it, and I was watching over, thinking, "Wow, them guys are working hard." Like, and then it's almost like in the mornings they weren't seeing balls. Like, there was just no footballs on the pitch. And then towards the evenings they were, whereas us, the 21s, we had balls in the morning, and we were thinking how lucky we were. And now I'm lucky for a different reason being there. So yeah.
And I know I've seen you work closely with Chris Ramsey. How helpful has he been? He's sat right there, and he'll be choosing if you play.
Yeah, definitely. I've got to thank him a lot for what he's done since I've been at the club, and since he's come in, because the goals that we want to reach maybe might not have been so clear to us before him and Les came in. So I'm very thankful, and we just have to work hard to just try and prove them right.
He seems a very nice guy on the cameras, but I've also noticed he's got a side to him, hasn't he?
It's a difficult one. I suppose every manager's going to have their side, but I suppose if there's no other side, then there's not really going to be a winning mentality about. So I think they need to have that side to have a winning mentality, otherwise you're not really going to get far as a team.
I'll tell you what, initially you were struggling to find that Furlong bat, and you pulled it out and gave it a You did it so well. Yeah. Okay, we're going to be joined very shortly now by Massimo Luongo, who's going to be modelling the away kit. So we'll bring Massimo out. Are you ready to see the away kit? Okay, Darnell, if you just take a seat along. Massimo will be joining us very shortly, and he's going to be modelling the away kit. He's joined us from Swindon Town. And he's going to be, hopefully, a key part of our development this season. I'm just checking that he's now ready to come. OK, put your hands together for Massimo Luongo. OK, grab a seat for us, Massimo. OK, what are our thoughts on Dennis the Menace being back? Yes, we like that. We're happy with that. That's good to see. OK, Massimo, you had again, like Darnell, first day of pre-season was yesterday. First real day out on the turf was today. How did you find it?
Yeah, no, it was good. That first session's always good to get over and done with. And no, I enjoyed it. You know, it's like you sort of miss it being away in the summer, and you just want to get straight back into it. And regardless of the session, whether it's running, as today was the yo-yo test, like you're just happy to be on the park and put the boots on.
And you look at last season from your point of view, before we talk about your transfer, it was an excellent season for you personally. I mean, we all love the playoffs, but for you, I would imagine it was a heartache towards the end.
Yeah, you know, being there for 2 seasons, it was a bit disappointing not to push it over the line in the end. It was a great bunch of lads, and I was quite close to a lot of them. But them 2 seasons done me, real good. Getting games week in, week out, I think was the most important thing. Probably my main reason why I went there in the first place. But yeah, I enjoyed my time there. I just think this year, was time for a new challenge and, to test myself.
And after the season you had at Swindon, there was a lot of speculation about where you'd play your football this season, where a lot of talk you would go into the Premier League. You almost opted against that on a personal level. Why was that? I
don't think I opted against it. I think Chris and Les had a big influence on it. I worked with them for a long time before I went to Swindon, and what they bring in my game and what they bring out, and the development side of it is still important to me. I think when I left Spurs, I think I sort of gone away from that side of the game. It was more about game management and worrying about the next fixture. Whereas I'm still 21 and I still need to develop and better myself, and so in the long run I've become a better player.
Do you feel under Chris and Les you've got that opportunity to develop more technically?
Yeah, Chris has always done the sessions with the technical side, and then doesn't stray from his roots, and I think that's what benefits me. A lot of the boys that I grew up with and trained with at Spurs, they've gone and done really well. So they're a good benchmark and a good path to follow, and I think that came from where we were at in the development side under Chris and Les.
And you shared a flat with Ben Gladwin, our other new arrival. You got married in the summer, so is Ben house hunting?
No. Ben was a good housemate. I think we sort of pushed each other on the pitch as well as off the pitch. So he's from Reading originally, so I think he's going around there. Whereas I've opted to go into South London. So but I think we're better off being away from each other than
better for all concerned.
Yeah, than sharing a 2-bed apartment. So
What sort of player is Ben?
Ben's quite versatile. Anywhere in the attacking line. I think his main strength is 1v1 domination. You can get him the ball and he's going to line up his defender regardless of the pitch, attacking mid, on the wing. He'll want to line up his defender, get half a yard, get some shots off, or beat him around the outside. Which, to be fair, as a midfielder, I was trying to bomb in the box, and he's got that time to get his head up. He's assisted me a few times in the season. So, he's a frightening player, and I think is one to be feared in the season.
Great. And your personal targets for this season? Darnell said earlier his aim is to play in every game if he can. What's your targets?
Quite similar, I think. I'd like to play in as many games as I can. Firstly, I've got to get in the team, and once I play, I think my main goal is to score more goals. Yeah, that's one thing I'd like to improve on, or even just get in the opposition half or the opposition box a lot more.
You're looking forward to playing in front of this lot?
Yeah, definitely. I love a new challenge, and just hopefully they react to me in a positive way.
Just work hard.
Yeah.
Don't work hard, they will let you know.
No, that's fair enough. That's it comes with the job, I think, which is fine. It's
a new QPR. There's a rebuild that's occurring since the relegation from the Premier League.
Yeah.
What do you believe QPR can achieve this season? We spoke earlier, and Les said it's about consolidation.
Yeah, I think I agree with him. I think that's one of the things that they were talking about when I was on the verge of signing here was, I think building the foundation, whether or not we go up the first, second or third year or whenever. It's just when we get up there we can hold our own, or stay up, or be a good force in the Premier League. So you've got to start from somewhere, I think, and I think that's what they're trying to do, and I think the club are taking the right steps to do it. So that's where I see them, really.
Okay, we're now joined by Derek, hopefully, all being well, from the States, who's got a question for Massimo. Derek, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you perfect. Away you go.
All right. Massimo, thanks for being a part of this. One of my mates here in the States is a big Swindon fan, and he's had nothing but great things to say about you. But I was wondering, since you've had previous experience with both Chris Ramsey and Les Ferdinand, is there any stories you can tell us fans about them that won't jeopardize your goals of playing in every game this season?
Come on, Derek. I mean, perhaps privately he can tell you when they're sat there.
Yeah.
He might find himself on the Judi Dench a bit too often for that sort of thing. But working with Chris and Les, how have they helped you? How did they help you at Spurs? Obviously, significantly, like Derek says, they've helped you develop, and you've come back to them, if you like.
Yeah, I pretty much summed it up before, but you know, the development side of it is the main thing that I think attracts them or attracts anyone to them. They're going to make you a better player, regardless of what's going on in the season. I think they never stray from the fact that they're going to make you a better player. They're going to work on the stuff that you need to be worked on. And there's a few one-liners along the way, so which you always remember. So yeah, that's all I probably could share at the moment with you.
He's given a glimpse. Thanks very much, Derek. And a question from Louise Ashley here in the studio. As we're at Google, what was the last thing you Googled?
Last thing I Googled. I think the directions to the training ground.
Directions to the training ground. Okay.
That's a safe one. I know the other one's off by heart, I think.
Have you ever Googled yourself?
Oh, yeah. mainly for pictures. And, you know, sometimes people, you know, muck around with the Wikipedia page, which is quite funny as well. So, and to see if it's wrong, yeah.
Update it? You update your own Wikipedia page?
No. I think I just like to see the stuff they put on there in case sometimes they put some madness on there.
Okay, great stuff. Darnell, have you ever Googled yourself?
Yeah, same reasons, mostly for pictures. But yeah.
Have you ever Googled yourself and thought, that's not true?
A couple of times, as in just, I heard one crazy rumour that I was somewhere else, that I'd signed somewhere else,
right.
But yeah, other than that, no, not really.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, I think we're getting close to seeing it. Before we move on to that, if there's any other studio questions for Massimo or Darnell, just let us know and feel free to put your hands up and ask away. But failing that, I think we're getting close to being ready to see the QPR home kit for the 2015-16 season. We're ready to see the QPR home kit for the 2015-16 season. We're ready for this. This is the one that we really need to get right, isn't it? So we've had the third kit from Darnell. We've had the away kit from Massimo. Now put your hands together for Nedum Onuoha and Jamie Mackie. Okay, grab a seat for us, Nedum, Jamie. Firstly, what are our thoughts on the thicker hoops being back? Yes, that's gone down well. Pleased to hear it. Great stuff. Well, Nedum, firstly, your thoughts on the kit?
I like it. It reminds me of the years gone by, you know, when we had a different sponsor, but this kit feels better and I think it looks better as well.
Jamie, back
like
in the
it.
proper hoops?
Yeah, I like it. I would have preferred the hoops to go all the way around, but I do like it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Nedum, firstly, to you, after, I mean, you've been through all the craziness that QPR can present.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah, most of it. After the disappointment of last season, it's straight into a fresh new challenge.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes you can be downhearted by, say, what came before, but you play football and you've got to go again. Like, the ambition this year is to do as well as we can, and we'll see where that leaves us at the end of the season.
How was the first day today? The first proper day?
The first proper day was all right. It was all right. I think he was quite kind to us because it was so hot. I've had some horrible days in the past, but this one was okay. But I get the feeling he's trying to just
build it up.
Just build it up.
He's
very,
just getting
very
you on
slowly but
side
surely.
first.
Yeah, exactly that.
Do you enjoy pre-season?
I don't know. No.
Really?
No. To be honest, if anybody really enjoys pre-season, like Jamie, for example, they always, you know, for me, I enjoy the football side of it. So the first, say, 2 weeks when it's more fitness-based, you know, it's something you have to do, but it's not really why you play the game anyway.
Okay, and Jamie, firstly, how does it feel to be back in the hoops of QPR?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I think I said that the day I signed, and yeah, delighted and great to get started today and see loads of old faces and have a bit of banter and get into training. Yeah, loved it.
You still got 5 or 6 weeks to wait until the season starts. Is that going to be a long 6 weeks for you?
It is, yeah. I'm glad we're going away because I've got itchy feet indoors now. So Mrs. is happy I'm at the house, and yeah, I'm glad we're going away for a week or so. And yeah, I can't wait for the real games to begin. I find it fairly hard when it's not as competitive in pre-season. I like it when it's 3 points up for grabs.
When you joined us, well, it was in the lead up to 2010, 2011, in the summer of 2010, there was an influx of new players like yourself, Clint Hill, Sean Derry, Bradley Orr. There was an influx. They went away on pre-season, and I know a lot of you have always harked back to how crucial that period was in bringing the squad together and the success that season brought. Do you see it now as a key moment again when you go away to Italy?
Yeah, I definitely think that give the lads a chance to sort of build up a good friendship off the pitch as well as on it, and a level of respect between each other, and get the lads together. I think it carries you through. It might sound stupid now, but 85 minutes into games and 90 minutes when you're hanging on, you've maybe got a lead. I think you go back to those times when you've got each other's back, and I think we became good friends off the pitch, that squad. As well as respecting each other on it, and we all came from different places, different career paths, to get to the same point. So if we can do that again and have a good trip away and the whole of pre-season, get around each other and get a good team spirit going, which the clubs certainly had before, I think it gives you a better chance in the season for sure.
Nedum, you've seen some great team spirits and some disappointing ones. How key do you believe it is?
I think it's massive, especially because of
do people overplay it? Because people always talk about how important it is.
I think for me, realistically, in a season, you're not going to win every game. So there are going to be spells where you're not getting points, you might not be playing well. And when you have a good team spirit, that's when everybody sort of rallies together and digs in and follows the plan that's been given. Mm-hmm. And chances are you come out of that situation. But when team spirit's not so good and you start to lose games, and people have been known to sort of go off as individuals, and then from there you can never really get back the winning mentality. So yeah, team spirit is a big thing, because as I say, inevitably you're not going to win every game.
Jamie, do you agree with the principle of players policing the dressing room themselves to a degree?
Yeah, certainly. I think the manager and the coaching staff have got so much on. They don't need internal problems, which I'm sure it's already been documented they've had to deal with before at this football club. I think certainly the change room should be policed within, and we all want the same thing, and so it doesn't really need to come from the coaches. We need to set the standards, and that's what we're here to do, and have a good change room, a good mentality, and we make sure things are ironed out between ourselves rather than worrying the manager and the coaching staff, because they've got to make plans for us to get 3 points.
Great stuff. Okay, and we're going to be joined now on the Google Hangout by Tony, who's got a question for both Nedum and Jamie. Tony, can you hear us?
I can.
Great stuff. Firstly, Tony, what's your question for Nedum?
Yeah, Nedum, you've played ostensibly at centre-back and also at right-back. What's your preferred position, and do you ever get a little bit frustrated that you don't get to use your pace? Have you ever considered going into, say, midfield?
Midfield,
Of positions that I've played, my preferred position is centre-back. But if I had the choice, I'd just be a striker. It's the easiest role anyway, isn't it? You know what I mean? But as from a pace perspective, that is one of my assets. But I do feel like I have others, and if I do end up losing my pace, then maybe I would like to go in midfield, but just sit in front of the back four and literally not move any more than about 5 yards either way. But maybe that's a few years away. We shall see.
Jamie, who's got the easier role, the forward or the defender?
The right back, for sure. He can see everything. Should never give it away. No, they're both tough jobs, but he certainly can use his pace playing centre half, because I've played against him there, and it's not the easiest of afternoon's work.
Okay, and Tony, what's your question for Jamie?
We know quite a lot about you from your previous time here. Is that going to be a difficult thing to live up to, or do you think you're going to be able to slot straight back in, or are you going to surprise us with some skill sets you've picked up since you've been gone?
Yeah.
Why are they laughing?
Yeah, no, I shouldn't imagine there's... no. When I first came here, I didn't pretend to be something I wasn't. I just work hard, and I bring certain elements to the team, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm certainly not going to come in and get you off your seat from doing something ridiculous, you know, that you might see Ronaldo or Messi doing. You know, that's not me, but I can guarantee a level performance throughout the whole season, and that's what I did before. So it's not going to be hard for me to slot in.
Yeah.
I am what I am as a player, and, you know, I love playing for the football club. So.
Jamie, you've got a very good reputation amongst the QPR fans. Do you feel that reputation's almost on the line because there's an expectancy for you to be the player that you were?
No, because like I said before, I'm just going to be the same player. I can't really play any other way. That's the only way I know how to play. So I'll be very surprised if the fans see, you know, something that they didn't think they were going to see. I'm the same player. If anything, you know, I've definitely matured as a player. I feel that I'm better than I was when I was first here, but certainly I'm not worried about putting my reputation on the line. I'm happy to, and I know that I can deliver what I did before because I am what I am as a player.
When was the last time you watched a Liverpool goal?
Last night, I think. Most nights I do, you know. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I've got them all on a little loop and I watch them, you know. Anyone comes round, they go straight on. I used to be all right, I said, you know. So I've got to do it again.
Great stuff. Okay, and we've got some studio questions. Firstly for Nedum from John Ashley. I actually think you've already answered this. First day of pre-season, was it harder this season or last season?
I think it was harder last season, but as I say, I'm more nervous about this season because I get the feeling he's just sucking us in, and it's going to be horrible for the next few weeks.
Yeah, particularly after that comment, he's thinking roll on tomorrow now.
Yeah, I'm expecting all sorts to happen. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, and a question for Jamie: did you join Reading just for the hoops?
No, I enjoyed putting in on a similar shirt, but you know it didn't feel quite right putting on that one. Yeah, this one feels better to be put on. So.
Great stuff. Okay, just remains, we'll speak to you again afterwards, but the final part of the live hangout, it just remains, we can ask Darnell, Massimo, Jamie and Nedum to step forward for the final photo of the QPR kit launch, and put your hands together. Just a reminder before you do, just a reminder that these are available to purchase this Saturday in the club shop from 9 o'clock till 5 p.m. Also, between 2 and 3:30, 4 of the QPR first team will be in attendance at the Superstore. And yeah, you can give us a nice big grin. Just remains to say, thanks very much for coming. Thanks very much for joining us on the Google Hangout. Thanks for watching. Put your hands together for your new look QPR.